We must give chase. More.
Any cost.
Malevolence.
Hello and nice seeing you again. This time we're going to discuss what's up with the newest update from Path of Exile 2, and this content will be discussing on what we know versus what is not known yet, some graphic details, and other small things. Okay, number 1. It's not an open world. That means we'll still see loads of loading screens when we are changing areas or entering maps. Next, the new storyline. GGG mentioned that there will be 2 campaign story, POE 1 and POE 2. Aside from that, we also see during the April announcement that there will be player choices. Whether this will impact the ending story or alternate endings, it's still unclear.
Do what you must. At your flank.
Once you've picked your destination, the caravan will travel to that area and come to a stop so that you can disembark. Because we just got the Stormswing, the leader of the Faradun, his goal here is to prevent
Number
you from
3.
catching the
Now
caravan
this is
in
something that
force.
many players have requested. For difficult bosses, a lot of times you want to monitor their HP bar, and alternating between bosses or multiple bosses situation also make it worse. Now in PoE 2, the HP bar is up all the time, and when there's 2 bosses, both can be seen together side by side. What about 3 bosses? We'll have to see. www number 4. Okay, gems are now all linked by default. This is a massive help, especially for the larger player base, where 6 linking is still a big deal. Active and support gem types are still there and clearer than ever, which means 1 active, multiple support for each line. More than that, it looks like we'll use more gems than before, because if we see here, the total gems are a whopping 32 more. From what we've seen so far, no 6 link yet, but the sockets are there, so strong probability 6 links are definitely still needed. Number 5. Good news for all of you, especially if you got large collection of MTX, rejoice! Because GGG have announced that your old MTX access will be available in PoE 2. For those of you who are considering to purchase some, now you can make your mind easier. Number 6, gameplay speed. Okay, before I explain, let's compare them directly. This is what PoE 1 looked like at beta launch versus your nowadays gameplay. If you ask me, I'd say the screen pace is quite different. So slow gameplay lovers, not to burst your bubble, but the showcased gameplay speed might be a bit different when you actually play it later on. Number 7, point overview. Alright, this is new, so apparently character will be a bit further away, not by much. I'm guessing about 10 to 15%. But it will provide us with more screen estate. Now of course you can zoom a bit if you prefer current PoE 1 perspective, but for those of you who sometimes feel, I want to see more type of player, I definitely do, then this is a great improvement. Alright, other small details. Mobs interacting with your skills, i.e. pole vaulting through your ice wall here, mobs behavior, i.e. patrols, and I believe there's going to be much more hopefully.
In Path of
Not
Exile
that it
2, we're
matters
doing a
when
lot
you
more
reach
interesting
that
things with
zoom
monster
endgame speed though. Corpses are different depending on how you kill them. And by the way, audio cues are optional, so you don't have to worry about it. Well, it's definitely going to be off for me. Alright, and we might be into something here. So the Oceodon, well, the monster, looks like it's been ignited. You can see that the fire skill is done here, but it's still on fire for some time. So this might mean that we can actually see the curse on the mob's texture easier now. This could be a very cool improvement, and you can really feel the difference during your gameplay. Another one, it looks like bosses can now do environmental damage. No, not that one.
Clever players will notice that if
What
they're
it meant
standing in the
is
light,
that you
they're
can
not
see
gonna have
here
any
the
rocks
ceiling
falling
is
on their
being
head.
torn down by the boss, and more light came through it. Aside from the fact that it might damage you when it falls. Environmental death will be a new thing, just a hunch. Shadow texture, alright. If we see here the shadow is gone, based on specific environment condition. We might not realize that in game, but this type of quality will carry over as a whole, providing more immersive feeling when we play it. Next, long gone are the boring globes or cylinders or containers. Well, I'm referring to these. So apparently GGG adds a subtle glowing nuance based on what's happening on the screen. Well, I don't know if the skills really have an impact since a fire arrow doesn't really do anything to it. So it looked like the glow is based on the player's movement rather than the fireworks on the screen. But let's see how it goes. At launch, I mean.
Will fan the flames for much more damage.
Monster textures looks amazing. We can see that even regular mobs are nicely detailed. The movement felt way more natural.
This spear has an
Now
extra
they did
modifier
not
that
place
synergizes
too
really
much
well with
emphasis
storms.
on
This
gear
spear has an extra
appearances, but
modifier
from
that
this
synergizes
example,
really well with
we can
storms.
tell that
This
the
spear has an
texture
extra
has gotten
modifier
way
that
better.
synergizes really well with storms.
This could be
spear
a
has an
huge
extra
improvement
modifier that
from what we
synergizes
currently
really well with
have,
storms.
just an
This spear
example
has an extra
of how
modifier that
bad
synergizes
can it
really
be.
well with-
From this into this. Well, I can show you other examples, but you know what I mean.
This is the Ardura caravan, or
Now,
town in Act
the
2.
town. Oh, the town. I know this is such an inspiration from Mortal Engines and maybe other references, but the texture and details are amazing. They can put more vibration in moving bridges in my opinion, but hey, maybe they are considering if this gets more real, player can get travel motion sickness.
Remain a friend to the
Now, the things that they have not mentioned. First, the trading system. Almost all POE players know how fun it is to play in Trade League. Well, SSF is a thing, but trading and community interaction is such a huge part of Path of Exile. While most of us might love the analog approach of these tradings, there are a lot of demands for a better managed trade systems. We'll have to see if GGG is doing something new about this. Another thing going on is that the changes of Passive Tree is yet to be announced. Now, while this is what defined Path of Exile, this is also one of the strongest barriers for new players to enter. Hell, when I first played and see the tree in-game, I am literally blown away and doesn't know where to start. As this is a major part of Path of Exile 2 as well, I think they might reveal it on the next beta announcement or some big milestone future ahead. Now, thank you for your time, and contrary to what you might think, subscription matters a lot for the channel's growth. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.